Hi, everybody. It's Luna Bell. I thought I'd do something a little different. Um, y'all, I have a copycat. You skanky bitch. Anyhows, bye. Bye bye. Um, you have a good time now, allegedly. Anyhow, y'all, what I want to talk about is the angels, for one, how people see angels, but some of the things that spirit and some the deities and everybody have shown me. And actually, these are some of my memories, many of past lives. I remember the Anunnaki. I remember being on, I hate to use the word ship, but they're saying in this, it's appropriate in this context, languages, you understand. I remember Inky. I remember being on that ship. It was like it was a laboratory. Anyhow, y'all, I'm going to kind of dive into some of the things I remember. Um, I'm hearing this is a blessing to me. Y'all, I had no memory of these things prior to my late husband passing. Many times, a traumatic event will trigger a spiritual reawakening in individuals. Y'all, from my belief and my understanding, is that we are all gifted people. We all have the psychic abilities. They're like any muscle. You just got to build them. That being said, and I think everybody's are distinctly their own and distinctly beautiful to them. I'm always amazed by psychics, readers, period. I mean, there are some that can throw tarot, throw some cards, and I'm just like, my mind is boggled. It's amazing to me. And I think that's how we should approach our gifts. I mean, they are a natural part of ourself. I mean, if you go along the line with God, and I'll be honest, I don't like the word God, but I think a lot of that is my own religious trauma. But also, I refer to the demiurge and what I hear from source energy. And y'all, I channel, for me, source energy is Amun Ra. But I channel everything and everybody. Above, below, within, without, it doesn't matter. Dogs, cats, trees, demons, angels, whatever, deities, everything. Okay? You start fantasizing or trying to manifest thinking about me. I don't care if you're whacking your pud, thinking about my lips. Yeah, and you're talking. If you're saying some stuff, baby, I'm probably going to channel what you're saying as you're doing that. And quite honestly, if you got some woman bouncing her ass on your stuff, well, baby, them's my balls they're bouncing on. You understand? That's how it feels to me. And it's honestly quite one of the reasons I isolate as much as I do. Anyhow, y'all, this is so nerve-wracking for me. I'm sharing hidden truths for me is what I'm hearing now from Amun Ra. But let me dive into some of these memories. I remember the Anunnaki. I remember Inky. I remember, I'm going to use the word ship, but they're saying it's appropriate in context. I remember being on the ship. It was like a laboratory, and I was sitting at a microscope. We don't have anything like this, nothing that is capable of what it was way back when, in the very beginning. And I remember hearing a door like open. There was no sound, but I knew it had opened. There was no whoosh of air or anything. It just opened. It was like it was there, but then it was gone. Just poop. Anyhow, I remember looking over my right shoulder after Inky had come in to the laboratory, and oh wow, this reminds me of my mate. Oh my goodness. It sure does, the way he did that. I was thinking about the memory. And y'all, if you resonate with the twin flame journey, y'all, true twin flames are extremely rare, is my understanding, what I'm hearing now. Y'all, I got off that damn train. I really did, because in the twin flame journey, honestly, is a very rude awakening to yourself, from your own soul. It is a 911 from your soul going, bitch, wake up. Mama said, wake up. You is late for school. Get up. um, and you have to go through those lessons. But anyhow, it's going through that journey. It is how all these memories have come back for me. And what I'm remembering is that I had looked back over my right shoulder and I said, Inky, I did it. Come look and see. Come look. I did it. Come look. And I was so excited. And Inky came over in the microscope, and y'all, I fucking loved microbiology in nursing school. Y'all, I fucking loved it. And especially when we had to identify, whatever we were growing in lab. Y'all, that was my favorite thing. Call me a nerd, but that was my favorite thing. I loved it. I mean, not knowing what you have, when you're growing it, and then you have to identify it. I loved it. Anyhow, he had come over, and I kind of leaned to the side, and he was leaning over me, and I remember, and this reminds me of my mate because he does it now. He would kiss right here, kind of smell, and just put like a little kiss here, and then he looked over my shoulder into the microscope, and he goes, "You did it. You did it." What I was seeing was the cell divisions, the first human cells, the first one that divided, the creation of the human species. And I remember our excitement. How amazing is that, though, way back then? My memories then jump over to what I call the first mother. And I remember holding the child to my breast, breastfeeding her. And it was a girl. Why would we have a boy for the first child with the first mother? They wanted the womb. They wanted to reproduce. Get over yourself with that ding, ding, ding. Anyhow, it was a girl, and I refer to her as the first mother. Now, before this, though, I'm going to talk to you. Okay, they're saying go ahead and tell you this since I started that with the first mother. And this is the first mother with the first baby with a Nephilim, if you want to call them that, Anunnaki or whatever. Now, here I'm going to pause one moment. They're telling me to describe the trees. I was up on a cliff way up high. I mean, it was so high, I can't tell you. The trees there are bigger than what is even in the redwood forest now. I've never been there, but I've seen, pictures online or on TV. But they towered over them. They're saying 2 or 3 feet, 2 or 3 times bigger. I mean, they were huge trees. They're saying at least 2. Thank you. They said they were mighty oaks too. They had mighty oaks, and they're showing me really big, wide bases. Anyhow, I was up on a cliff way up high. Well, I'm sure there was a way down, but it wasn't by walking, you understand? It was by flight. Anyhow, I remember sitting on the lip of the entrance to the cave, and looking over, and I could see all the trees, and I could see the water way down below, the forest animals, everything. I could see the dragons flying, and I'm going to stop there because there's other things there, but I want to jump back to what I call my mate. Now, this is an intrinsic term, or it is instinctive and very primal. Now, being reminded as well, the twin flame journey. True twin flames are rare, and is my understanding. Um, I'm sitting here asking my guides. I keep asking, "Am I really one?" But y'all, I'll be glad to tell you, this is my last lifetime. I will not reincarnate. Old Chica is retiring. She has managed to ascend. And Spirit Amun Ra told me a word, and that word was Umi, a teacher, or, well, one who has no prior knowledge. Y'all, the things I channel, this is by source. These are my deities, these are my spirit team, my angels, archangels, all of them. Anyhow, my mate, I referenced, Inky there, and that triggered that memory of him doing that. He does that now. Now, we never met in person. I'm going to just tell you that. We've never, but telepathically, oh yeah. The 5D, if you want a term. Anyhow, one of the first memories of him and I together is what I call like a mating ceremony or a mating ritual. Basically, if you want to call it a marriage, that. And I remember we were in the forest and we were under the canopy of the trees, and it was a huge bonfire. I mean, if you can, the trees I described, they were huge. And if you could imagine taking the logs for a bonfire, how tall they would be, about the size of the trees we have now. And they were piled up for this bonfire. It was night. I remember the smell. I'm also getting a hint of, they're saying the word sandalwood, but I'm also hearing cinnamon and clove. Interesting. Anyhow, I remember the smell of the floor of the forest, the dampness, that damp earth, the damp, rich earth. I remember how beautiful it was up under those trees, looking up, and the foliage was so deep and darker green. And you could see a few stars here and there, but you really didn't get a lot of light through the tree because the foliage was so thick, It was absolutely gorgeous. The hangman comes out a different perspective. Anyhow, I remember there was an agreement made, a binding of two different individuals or beings. One human in form, the feminine, me, and then my mate. I remember how big he was, how tall. He had dark hair then, I believe. Yeah, dark hair. His eyes, though, they were a beautiful blue-gray. Sometimes throughout lifetimes, different lifetimes, of course, they change. Now here I want to reference that he was part of the Anunnaki, or part of what they would call the Nephilim, the angels, they're saying the demon gods. They're not saying angel, they're saying the demon god is what they're calling them. And there's a sneer, but also a fond laugh. Again, the shift in perspective. And this is what they're saying. And then they say what people hold dear to their heart, this, however you see that. If you want to call it a demon god, and a human, what would the child look like? Or what abilities and gifts would the child or the descendants of these two bonded, and see, that's what they are, bonded individuals. Um, and like with Inky and I, the Anunnaki, we came then. We came my lion. There is a reason I call him my lion. Anyhow, many reasons. That bonding ceremony, it wasn't a marriage. It was the bonding or the blending or the soldering of the two energies. So you, instead of two individual ones, they were connected. They were still separate, but one. You understand? Like identical twins. Interesting. And they're showing me, and they're going each to their own, their embryonic fluid. And here, the reference to the embryonic fluid is your surroundings, your environment, your family, or whatever. Anyhow, in this bonding ceremony or this bonding ritual, this is where we were bonded together in the very beginning. And then the next image, it was after this bonding of he and I, my mate and I, and it was a very primal thing. I remember, I was kneeling on the ground, sitting on my knees, and I had my legs, spread like that, my knees like that, and he was behind me, but he had his legs on each side of mine, so, I was in front of him. He very protective, and that's how the images are. Those were the most prominent, and that was how it was enacted, if you want me to use that word. The copulation or copulation, or the sexual activity, the bonding. And here they're saying the word, like the first time, they're saying the primary time. Even now I have not gone into a physical, as they say, union with my mate. When we do, you will note there are some fears for people because you will see cataclysmic events. I was asking them a question. Okay, not yet. They're telling me to go on with the story before I tell you this part. They're saying I'm jumping ahead. But this is when we had the first bonding together of our two energies, and this was an agreement we made together to do this journey. We had a purpose, a plan even then. And they said we accomplished much, and we are actually successful. He will ascend as well. I was asking, I'm hearing the words, but I was asking, do I need to say it? And they're saying, no, it's not necessary. But if they're saying it may, I don't know, make others feel better. And they're saying a more complete understanding. Thank you. Again, the shift in perspective. Birds of a feather flock together. Alrighty then. But some may call ascended masters like Yeshua. He and Mary Magdalene were bonded mates. And yes, it sounds very primal, and it is. But as well, they reference the cataclysmic events, the cataclysmic changes within societies and everything and around the world and whatnot. You may see hurricanes, tsunamis, the cracking of the earth. Remember as well Noah and the Great Flood. Cataclysmic events, great changes with Mother Gaia, the evolution of Mother Earth, the evolution of the all. Thank you. They're saying above as well as below. And here they stop, and because what they also show me is when they said, above and below, and they're saying within is without. And here what they're showing me with the within is without is like the earth pulling forth, like inside the earth there is portals, interdimensions that are accessible. And again, the reference to going within. Thank you. They're saying again the shift in perspective, but they're saying the cracking of the world wide open. You having these shifts of the dimensions and timelines and whatnot. They're saying like the warping of the world. It's like woof, is almost what I'm seeing. Anyhow, I'm going to go back to that, the primal mating or the primal mating ritual, the bonding ceremony. This is when the original bonding was, the initial primary union between these two energies. And this is how it's developed. And this is how it's formed. It is an agreement. Here also, I reference the Nephilim. Now, I'm going to give you a few definitions here. I'm trying to see my time. 21 minutes. All right. The word Anak, A-N-A-K. I was looking up the meaning of the Nephilim. Y'all, my knowledge comes from spirit, deity, source, all of them, above, below, everybody. Y'all go ahead, send me some demons. Y'all got me all fucked up. Honey, I'll be rolling all up in the dark. I love it. Go ahead. They just fall in love. I love them too. And look, I'm multitask and I'm efficient. I'm going to put their ass to work. You're going to be up in my energy. You're going to work, honey. I'm just saying. I have a great time with them, with all my spirits. The light, shadow, I don't care. They're on labels. Anyhow, but the word Anak, A-N-A-K, if you look that up in several languages, and I found the word, I saw it when I was, I was Googling the Nephilim. Anyhow, the Anak figure in the Hebrew Bible said that they were the forefather of the Anakites. Oh man, hold on, y'all. Anyhow, let's see. And then also, there was an Anaka, which was a ruler of medieval Egypt. Now, the Anak Berket is not that one. We don't need that one. That's something different. But Anak in several languages means child. And Tagalog, T-A-G-A-L-O-G, I believe, it refers to one's offspring. And Malak, M-A-L-A, I think that's J. Y'all, my handwriting. I'm one of those that writes print cursive, it changes, and I used to be a nurse. But in Indonesia, it means child. And the Malak and the Indonesian, they both mean child. So here, the reference to the Anunnaki. I need to break that down to the root words and all that. I think that'd be very interesting. Anyhow, so you have these two beings, one human and one Nephilim, or they're both Nephilim, as the case may be. Now, and I say that because the way my memories are, it's like shifting from one timeline dimension, or, you understand. I hope. Anyhow, the first child with the first mother was a daughter, because you want the Vesica Pisces, you want the womb of creation. If you're going to create a species and it is, the procreation happens, or the babies are grown in the womb of the woman, well, guess what? They're going to probably want a female child to begin with for the first child so they can reproduce. Yes. Okay. Now, so again, the reference to the word Anak, which means child. Now, here I'm also going to refer to the American Southwest oral tradition. And I'm going to spell this, the ANASAZI. And they were called the SI-TE-CAH, or the Anakim. And now I think my mate will find this interesting, and I'm hearing he does. They had, allegedly, from what I was reading, red hair. They were gingers. I just heard a holy shit. Anyhow, so, but you also realize that the Anak were also, this was in the southwest of the Americas here, but they also were over in the Middle East. Now, I have also referenced Malaysia as well. I was asking them if there was anything else with that. No. So, with that first child, after that bonding ritual there with my mate and I, and it is a very primal thing, that bonding that basically soldered our energies together. Here I'm going to reference what they call the 7 deadly sins. Also, I'm going to reference Eli Levi. Y'all, I'm sorry, this channel, sometimes it gets heavy. And I think I feel interference as well, but that's okay. It's just heavy. Oh, hell. One moment. I had to clear my mind a second, because sometimes the channels are really heavy. Honestly, when I channel with Amun Ra, when it's just a pure Amun Ra, man, I have to go take a nap afterward. It wears me out. It's, they're saying heavy. It's a lot of energy. Anyhow, if you want to use the term the 7 deadly sins, he and I, my mate and I, we were bonded. Now, where did the first child come? After, he and I were bonded. Well, the Nephilim, as they call them, or the Anunnaki, that's what they were. For me, is my understanding. I'm asking that. I want to make sure, but they're saying, yes, this is correct. This was the Anunnaki that were mating with the human women. So my mate and I were the human to begin with, but also the Anunnaki. It's like I've seen 2 different timelines, dimensions. It's like they're parallel, but different. Thank you for confirmation. And this is where I go and I can see myself on the edge of the cliff and holding the baby girl, feeding her. And I was looking out over the edge and all. And I remember one of the Nephilim, if you want, but it was an Anunnaki had come by to see me because it was their child. One of the demon gods. So a demon god with a human woman. Now my mate, he's always been jealous and possessive. He still is. That's all right. What I'm hearing is this give him more of an understanding, and they're saying the word compassion as well for himself of understanding why he feels that possessiveness. Yeah, jealousy too. He said, like, what's mine is mine. Gotta keep in. Apparently I'm a feisty kitty, a feral kitty. That's what I told him one time. I was like, I'm a feral kitten. Anyhow, here the reference again to the seven deadly sins. He was jealous of the Nephilim, of the Anunnaki. I was his woman, I was his mate. That's what we call each other. Even now, I still say mate. I know, anyhow, he saw me with the Anunnaki, with a human baby, with their child, and we hadn't had one yet. I reckon you could say we were in separation at that time. Because I was with I birthed their child. I had the baby of the demon god. He was jealous. War broke out with man and the demon god, the Anunnaki. And remember I told you that the first time with mates, when they mate for the first time in the physical, there is cataclysmic change. Well, that's what happened. I remember sitting on that cliff holding the baby, feeding her. And my mate and I had bonded. We had been bonded. The jealousy and all. But when we made it, the cataclysmic change started, and then the vision, the peace, and the beauty of the forest was gone. What I was seeing instead was like fire from the sky. The animals running from the east to the west and the west to the east. Explosions everywhere, trees falling. Dragons, yeah, y'all dragons are real. But men and women were running. The animals were running. The trees were burning. Things were coming from the sky. They're saying projectile. The earth was heaving and cracking open and heaving from inside. Here again, the reference to the interdimensional portals as well on the inside of Mother Earth. Here, I can do it this way. But they're saying the inverse, if you will. Anyhow, the folding of the timeline dimension portals, whatnot. But when we went into that physical union and we were bonded, well then, the cataclysmic change happened. Like with Noah and the flood, you understand? Okay. All right, thank you. I was asking where to go with here next. Here they're also referencing, I mentioned the dragons, that dragons are real. And I have, okay, and there are many times I'll say my dragon. I'll say my, not dragon, but my dragon, like D-R-A, then, apostrophe G-O-N. And they're saying emphasis on the last word. And and being a dragon rider, I am reminded of, is it Anne Perry? I think, hold on, let me look. I think it is Anne Perry that wrote some books about that. And she even mentioned the cliffs and all. Oh, I think it's her. Sci-fi fantasy. Oh, let's see. It was the dragons. Ugh. that's not it. The one I thought it was Anne Perry, and it may be, but they wrote a book, quite a few of them, about the dragons and the dragon riders and the eggs of the dragons. Now, here the reference to my dragon and the dragon rider. Now, where I'm going with this is that I release what I call my dragon eggs. Now, these are done, you have to be at a certain level. They're saying frequency and resonance wise. You have to be so much ascended or risen. And for that, you have to descend into your dark night of the soul, or, go through what Persephone and Iona and so many others have went through. Anyhow, after you rise from your own personal descent into your own personal hell, and you're doing the work and you're learning, you're beautifully broken is what I call it. You're healing, and y'all, our healing journey is never done. If you go, I'm healed, bitch, no, you ain't. We are all in a continuous state of healing, or the evolution of healing. It is a continuous process, a continuous cycle. And I'm sorry, I was asking them about how they wanted me to, go with that. Anyhow, with the dragon eggs, this has to be that certain frequency and resonance. And you have to, and I'm going to reference here Witch and Scythe. Y'all, she is a reader here on YouTube, and y'all, I have learned so much from her. Her and I Scry with Steph actually got to go to attend one of Witch and Scythe's Tea and Tarots. Y'all, fangirling, both of you. Anyhow, and if you resonate with the Twin Flame journey and you want to heal, y'all go watch her. I mean, I have learned so much about myself, but also about healing, truly going within, and learning to break down the illusions or the mask or projections, whatever it may be, of self. But anyhow, so if you resonate with that journey, or you just want to learn, go there, because I learn a lot about the occult knowledge and esoteric, all sorts of things. But anyhow, those dragon eggs, I pull them from different timelines, dimensions, portals, and I do not know when it would be. And I'm directed by Amun-Ra. When Amun-Ra said, I honestly, it feels like I'll start getting a feeling, and it's like, bitch, it's like being in heat. It is quite honestly like being in heat. And it's like, I gotta release my dragon egg. Now, y'all, it is not a literal dragon egg. The dragon eggs I released are what people call in the Bible the seals. The seals are broke. The seals are open. Now they are 5 above and below, and 5 within is without. Not all are open, but the ones that are necessary, and the ones that people speak about, or they say remember is the word I injected speak about. They're saying remembering. This is actually a remembering of the soul of in the book of Revelations, where the referencing of the seals. When the seals are broken, judgment was called by Spirit on the summer solstice of this year in 2026. Indeed, a blessed event. So here you will see the seals are broken and they are open. They're saying, I am an Umi. one who is untaught. I do not have the prior knowledge. Much like the Prophet Muhammad here. This is the title that was given him. He also channeled spirit source energy. Thank you. So, again, the reference to the cycle of the true twin flames, if you want. I hate to use that expression, period. I don't like labels, but words are simply like the fan. You know, it gives us something to hold on to. Almost like this visual aid of this fan. You can apply the word fan, and you can apply the whole concept of the whole of it. You're condensing it down, okay? Anyhow, so the true twin flames in here, they're few. They're very few. Thank you for confirmation. But they are real. Now, they're mentioning here MK Ultra. Bitch, yeah. I survived that too. Now, I would tell you, okay, thank you. They're mentioning superpowers. They reference the demon gods. Yes, they are real. Very real. They reminded me of the word Anak and the American Southwest oral tradition. I know the Hopi, and I can't remember. There's some other tribes, but you know, the indigenous folk of the American Southwest. Anyhow, they had red hair. Hey, I heard the word dragon rider. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I saw a fairy go by. Anyhow, that is the bonding of the first initial bonding in the creation, the bonding ritual and the mating ritual of twin flames, the soldering of their two energies together. Now, he and I have been here from the very beginning. We came in, well, he was Inky. And I, his wife, if you want to call it wife, and mate, again, is the word. I have many memories of different lifetimes. I remember hair. I remember Ayana. I was in Hanawana in a past life as well. I've been many things, many timelines and dimensions. Swamp Dick, allegedly, y'all. He's a stalker, allegedly. Bitch, I wish you'd leave me alone. You and my copycat. Anyhow, he was the Arizona Kid in one lifetime, and my mate and I were an actual physical union in that lifetime. And my mate and I, we had a daughter. Her name was Annie Girl. That's what I call her, Annie Girl. Y'all, I was under in the very beginning. And y'all, I don't even remember when I heard about twin flames, because I didn't believe in all this stuff then, prior to that. But that was after I had met Swamp Dick, and we were fuck buddies, y'all, allegedly. 18 plus, y'all. If you get butt hurt over that, bye, bitch. No fucks given. Anyhow, he was the Arizona Kid in that lifetime. Nutter Butter, you were a prostitute then too, allegedly. 304. But, honestly, I think it needs to be legal. I mean, hell, you just make more money this way. But I think, damn, pay some taxes, B. Plus, make sure folk get the medical care and the safety they deserve. You understand? I mean, you're going to have them, and they're going to do it. I mean, Nutter Butter. 4440 on my timer there. If you're going to do it, at least provide the safety and, an environment that is, and make sure they have access to good health care. Damn, Swamp Dick, do you know what medication resistant is? You nasty. Why you hating on your dick like that? You know what? Anyhow, it's allegedly. That old nurse in me, y'all. Finish your medicine info. Anyhow, y'all been getting case ass about shit. Anyhow, you can see how the timelines in different lives or whatever, it's almost like this repeating cycle. Are you going to learn the lesson? Y'all, I've rambled here for a while now. I hope and channeled. It's been 45 minutes here. But I hope this gives you an idea and more of an understanding not only of the Nephilim but the Anunnaki, but of the bonding of when I'm not going to say true. I'm going to say they're saying the original. And here they're actually giving me a number, the original 13 pair of the bonded twins. They're saying 13 in the initial development. I reckon we'll go further down that road when it's time for me with, my spirit guides, because they're not giving me anything else. And I'm getting a fond, good laugh and a spanking on the ass, a little pat on the butt. It's like, go on with you now. Go on, you little good, like a parent with a child, okay? Like a parent with a toddler. I hope this gives you a better understanding of what I have been shown. And y'all, to be quite honestly, now that they're telling me all this, I'm like, that makes so much more sense now. And also, they're saying the shift in perspective. They're saying love and hate, they're two sides of the same coin. Because there's sometimes he just drives me crazy. I want to jump on him, pound. But, it's the same. It's the flip side. Like I tell you, that for me, Archangel Michael, well, the flip side of him is Lucifer. Have you ever seen Michael when he's pissed? Please, honey. And for those of y'all that are sending, wishing or sending or crafting some unaliving kind of magic, bitch, don't do that. That's not a good idea. Yeah, here you go. They get a little pissy about that shit. I'm just going to tell you, okay? Y'all, if y'all did not believe in anything bigger than us, I don't care what you choose to call source energy or spirit. And if you did not believe in miracles, and if you did not believe in your gifts, you will after you hear the truth of my story. And y'all, I have to tell you that I am divinely blessed and divinely protected, and I am loved. This twin flame journey, if you want to call it. And I learned a lot from Witch and Scythe, and I healed a lot from that journey, even though I know I'm one of those rare ones. I hate to use that expression, that word. I just heard someone call me an egomaniac. You nasty bitch. Anyhow, you do you, boo kitty. Anyhow, hell, I'll just leave it because I'm getting lost in this energy, this channel. The different perspectives, though. Witch and Sky, the lessons I learned from her. To heal, to go within. And not only that, I've learned so much about, my own craft and doing my own readings as I step more and more fully into my own path. And I scry with Steph. Oh, girl, I'm fangirling. I'm so fangirling. Y'all, oh my gosh, y'all have got to go see her stuff, man. I mean, she creates her own ink blocks and she reads them, well, she scries them. Y'all, fangirling here. But the lessons and everything I learned, especially for this, to heal from the twin flame journey. All of a sudden I got a tickle in my throat. The healing of the wounded parts of self, the beautifully broken parts of us. Well, that's the whole of us. None of us are completely healed, and none of us are perfect. We're beautifully broken and imperfectly perfect. And that wounded ego, most of the people on the twin flame journey are the ones that they say they're on that twin flame journey. What is it you're really seeking? Most of us are like, oh, I want my one true love. I want my, my divine masculine. I want my, kingdom spouse, whatever they call it. And I ain't gonna lie. What I hear is what I said earlier. What asinine bullshit. But it is a rude awakening of your soul, of your spirit, of your true self. A little wake up, chicka. That prize that we want, that one true love, baby, that's us. I fell in love with myself, my self-love journey. I fell in love with me, and I had to go deep within. I had to descend into my own personal hell, my own personal dark night of the soul. And I had to start addressing it, especially with the 7 deadly sins, if you want to use that expression. I wonder if it's something about this computer, because I noticed before, it's like it bothers my eyes or something. I don't know what it is, or it's distorting the energy, and it bothers my eyes, y'all, and it's very distracting. It makes it feel very heavy. And I'm sitting here going, Spirit, I know this ain't all you, Amun-Ra. He's like, no. But I think I'm right about the laptop or whatever it is. But they're saying the word projection. It's probably some energy and weapons, man. Y'all some bitches. Anyhow, hell. Y'all, this is a perfect example of what man can do with vibration and frequency. This is most definitely coming from this laptop. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyways, y'all, I lost the channel and I'm going to leave it there. But I hope this gives you a better understanding of the twin flame journey. But I won the prize. I fell in love with me. That is what we're looking for. Not the kingdom spouse or your divine masculine or your divine feminine or your divine counterpart. That divine counterpart is within you. As above, so below, as within, so without. I am, that I have always been. That I shall always be. That I should always continue to choose me. In doing that, I love self. Now, when I say I'm choosing to self-love, I'm not being conceited or, a snappy bitch or whatever. No. I'm choosing myself and not betraying self and being a rug for others to walk upon. I've recognized my own beauty and fell in love with how beautifully broken I am and how imperfectly perfect I am. I am, that I have always been. May it be blessed, blessed be.